Well, today we're going to continue going to more in-depth cleaning. To review, we cleaned the contacts before and the pivots by taking the arm out. Alternative way is to take this frame off. And so what we're going to do now is give it a complete breakdown and clean the parts. So of course we'll start by removing the weight like we did before. Backing up all the screws. Taking them out. First, we'll note that the one for the spring has a little protrusion right up here, unlike the other ones that doesn't have the protrusion. This is where the spring will rest on the shoulder as you move it in and out. Okay, we'll take the top pivot. There's one over here. So what we're going to do now is disassemble all the pieces here. In this particular model, the pivot itself, it's held with this screw right here. Excuse me, right here, using the camera. Here's the screw that holds the pivot pin. We'll take that off. We'll take the springs. We'll take the knobs off and the finger pieces, the dot, and we're going to put it all in here with my favorite distilled vinegar. Let it soak while we disassemble the rest of the base and clean the base. Now what we're going to do is take out the contacts, the frame and the swing arm frame and the circuit closer. I want to note that the circuit closer in this particular model, they're insulated right here. This one is insulated also right here, and so is this one insulated. So we have to be careful that we put them back in the same order, these insulating washers. These also have insulators on the screws that are held down into the base. So we'll take a look at that as we progress. So let me to take off this frame. You turn it on the side, and you'll notice that the bar, this metal. Okay, so I took the dash post, and this is the order of the dash post. First, the shorting, conductive path, the insulator in the back so it won't short down to the frame, then the screw, then this is the insulation, keep the screw inside centered so it won't short the screw itself, the washers, the shorting bar, and then the post. That's the order that particular one goes. Here is the frame that came off with these two screws. They were right here. And this is what the frame looks like I'm going to go ahead and proceed to take the bottom pivot off, but before that you take off the locking screw. It locks this lower pivot from vibrating loose. And as you can tell, this is in a, I don't know if you could tell, it's pretty let me see if I could get the little raunchy there. And before I put in the vinegar, let's go ahead and see what a little Noxon polish will do. So I'm going to put a little polish right here. Hard to do this with one hand, but we'll try. Hold on a second while I put down the phone. I'm wiping this real good and hard. This is with the Noxon, and I could tell right away that it's going to be nice and bright and polished, as you can see. So this is what it looks like. Let me see if I could use it. See how it came out nice and polished with took out the pits. Still some pits up here. I've got to do that right here. And this side is all pitted. As you could tell, that side should look like this side. So that's how I'll clean them. I'll take this off and I'll put it inside, all the pieces inside some vinegar. Stand by. Okay, so the screw came off. I'm going to put that in some vinegar. The whole thing. This cup is a little small. Let's see if I can find another cup. Stand by again. Okay. Got a larger cup. Put the pieces in there. The frame. Put the screws in there. Put these other screws in there. Put the locking. Now this let me say this, screws. This has to go as a unit because the this piece at the end of the screw does not come off. This press fit, so this screw won't come off this post. So we have to do the whole post and screw at one time. So we'll do that. Take the screw off the weight. The weight. Put these screws in there too. These ones I like to take the nut off of them. Hold on a bit. This allows to get some of the grime off the threads, and the top pivot, and that's a little raunchy. Hopefully it'll brighten up. we got to remember that the top piece that's folded up goes up like this on top, and the shorting bar slides right underneath it. That goes in. The washers do not go in. Put them there aside. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is, so like I said, I'm going to disassemble this arm and put all the pieces inside the cup also. Stand by. I also want to mention before I take it apart, there's a gap here. And that's caused by first mounting the dot, because this hole here is threaded. So what we want to do is first mount the round one, then mount this one. We'll leave the screw off, mount these two, and then the last thing we'll do is put the screw on. This will be really flush with the metal. Okay, so we took out the finger pieces. We took out the dash contact, the screw that holds it in place, the spring, and the nut. The nut has a shoulder on it, also to keep goes on this side of the spring. That's the shoulder. This is a small screw that holds this pin in here when it goes through here. Remember, this hole is deeper. There's a shoulder in it. That's for the spring. The spring goes inside of there. So when you put it back in the frame, that should be to your right. Just like this, to your right. Took the dot, contact, and its holding screw. Now we took all those pieces. I don't take the spring out. I might take the spring out, but so it won't get lodged in the bottom of this pile. I'll leave it on, and then when I put the polish, I'll take it off. Speaking of which, let's see if I could show you. So it's pretty ugly. I don't know if I could hide the fluorescent lamp. Some pit marks there. Well, we'll put it also in here. This is one we clean. Now we're going to clean the whole thing. And these we leave out. So the next thing we want to do is take out the shorting bar, the dot, the post, and the frame, and this piece, and of course the feet.